Morning guys, thank you very much for all the comments the other day regarding the farm. A lot of you made the suggestion that Pi and I would be much better off if we were to buy the farm and build a house rather than buying a motorbike. It is logical, as most of you rightly pointed out, that the farm would have far more future value than a motorbike. That's unquestionable. I won't deny it. So Pi and I last night, we decided to take a walk down to the Mekong River and check out the beautiful sunset. We hope you enjoy it. Here it is, and we'll talk about the rest when you've enjoyed that. Pi and I came to the conclusion that yes, buying the land and building a home would be a far better option than buying a bike. It would obviously give us a huge amount of content for our channel. But again, so would the motorbike, or at least in our view, it would allow Pi and I to travel further and wider and grow our channel on the back of that content. But yes, certainly buying a land and building a house would have far more future value than a motorcycle. That is unquestionable. We can't argue that fact. So there's been a couple of developments. The first development is the farm itself. Now the farm is owned by father and son. Now the father is an elderly gentleman, he's in his 80s, nice fella. I did actually meet him. He's getting to the point in his life where he's getting a little bit too old for it, and his son said, look, I'd be quite happy if we sold the whole farm. So it now appears that what they would really like to do is sell the entire farm. So we've gone from 400,000 to 1.2 million. Now the 1.2 million is just a figure being bandied around. They may indeed want more. The issue here, of course, is twofold. The price of the land, and of course then you've got to find the money to build, and that's expensive. So we did go and have a chat with the bank, and the bank said no, and they wouldn't provide a mortgage on it. Pi's income from the channel is just not sufficient enough to sustain a mortgage repayment, so they won't do it. Pi turned around and said, what about if we just bought the land? And they said, no, we wouldn't give a mortgage for that either. And she said, well, why is it that we can get a loan for a motorbike but we can't get a loan for land? And the bank pointed out that this comes under a completely different category. He essentially said that the dealerships for cars and motorbikes have special relationships with finance companies, and it's the finance companies that specialise in providing finance for either motor vehicles or motorbikes. So he said no, he said we couldn't give you a mortgage on it. So there you go guys, it's not doable. Again, as I said to you yesterday, we don't know what the future will bring. We can only make a guess as to what this channel will be generating in say 6 to 12 months time. Based on what we've already done. And yeah, the future's still looking very, very bright. I mean, Pi and I are still extremely happy with what's gone on, and the situation we've gone from to now. It's been a remarkable transformation. So yeah, we've achieved an awful lot with this channel. I'm sure that as time goes by, we'll achieve an awful lot more. Well, the fish are doing really well. No losses. Pi's feeding them up now. Somebody actually asked a question the other day, how long we're going to keep the fish in the pens. Between 4 and 6 weeks, depends on their growth. But once they're big enough, we'll let them out, and certainly they'll be too big then for the kingfishers to get hold of them. So yeah, 4 to 6 weeks. We'll see how it goes, see how they grow. Somebody also asked for an update on the frogs. How are they doing? Well, as you know, it was a bit of a disaster, but we've still got quite a few. It's over 100 in there, and I'm looking at them now, and they're growing. You can see down there's a couple of big boys. They've just been fed. I have absolutely no idea when they'll be ready for market. I really don't know. Pi said she thinks maybe sort of another couple of months, but I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. We're going to make a loss on it. There's no two ways about that. We simply lost too many of them, but that's the way it goes. You know, it's trial and error. If you don't try something, you can't fail at it. And if you can't fail at it, you can't learn from it. And if you can't learn from it, well, what's the point in life? So that's what it's all about, learning from your mistakes. And we won't be making the same ones again. So yeah, it's all good. I'm very, very happy. Pi's very, very happy. And let's be honest, guys, how can you not be happy when you wake up to this every morning? Right, I'm going to go and feed the fish in the old pond. That's coming along nicely though. It looks as if it's clearing a little bit more every day, so yeah, it's all good progress. The litmus test on that one is when I try fishing it with a rod. So if they can see the bait, they'll take it, which means the water is clearer. But yeah, it's looking all right. I'm quite happy with it. Now, as you know, we put this moss in the water, this pondweed, and we let the ducks out and they had a good old chomp at it, so they like it as well. The chap that we got it from, he did turn around and say it does spread very, very quickly, so you need to keep an eye on it. He said, but considering you've got a lot of ducks, the ducks will keep it in check. So yeah, we'll see. He said, but if you run out, just let me know. He said, and come and get a load more. It's not a problem. We've also put some in the little holding pen at home along with the duckweed. Well, Pi said that the sticky corn is ready for harvesting and she's just got a load of them. And there she is, peeling her sticky corn. Nice, isn't they? As you can see, they're not yellow in colour, they're white. And they just steam them and yeah, it's kind of sticky, like sticky rice. Even sticky to sort of touch. You can see some of them got sort of pink in them as well. Really nice, isn't they? Yeah, it's a different type of corn, that's a fact. It's unusual. But Pi, she just loves eating it. Can't get enough, can you? Well, we just got back from the farm and I've got a very interesting email from one of our subscribers who said, Graham, why don't you crowdfund the purchase of the land and the build? Yeah, that's one option we could explore, but yeah, I'm not sure it would be really possible. Now, I just run some numbers, so let's just break it down for you. Let's assume that the crowdfund is sort of exclusive to our subscriber list, and currently we've got 3,390 people. Now let's assume that you know, we was to buy all of the farm. That's 1.2 million. On top of that, of course, you've got the house build, and what that would cost is you know, anybody's guess at this point in time. But let's just say, just as a figure, it's £1 million baht. It would mean we would have to raise 2.2 million baht. Now, if you divide that by 3,390 subscribers, it would mean that every subscriber would have to donate $20. Now, that doesn't seem like an awful lot, does it? As a matter of fact, it seems quite a pretty good proposition. The issue is, of course, you know, in reality, how many of those subscribers would actually support such a scheme? If I was going to be realistic about it, I'd say probably maybe 1%. So no, I'm not sure that crowdfunding would be really an option. But of course, you never know, I could be entirely wrong. One of the things that Pete said in his email was that, you know, compare it to a motorbike, of course, it would give Fam a much better start in life if we were to go this route, because he'd have a tangible asset when you know, I shuffled off my mortal coil. So yeah, it does make sense. And again, you know, it made sense what a lot of people have had to say about, you know, when you compare a motorbike and developing the channel that way to building a house and developing a channel that way. You know, again, as I said to you yesterday, it's all about Fam at the end of the day. And yes, you know, if we were to go this route of, you know, land and house, it would certainly give Fam a better asset. But again, whether it's actually feasible to crowdfund it, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I would have to say at this point it would be most unlikely. But yeah, good email, Pete. Thanks very much, and some good information in there. Cheers. Appreciate it. Well, Pi's decided she wants to make some dried beef, so she's got a couple of packs of beef out the freezer that we got from Macro the other day, and once that's thawed out, she's going to cut it into very thin strips, put it in the sun and let it dry. I'll keep you posted on that and see how that comes out. Lovely. Well, Pi's already prepared the beef. She's cut it into very thin strips, and she's now got it out in the sun drying. That'll keep the flies off it, obviously, but I'll lift it up and let you have a quick look. There you go. Looks nice, doesn't it? It's also been salted and peppered. Now, when it's dry, it'll get deep fried, and it's really, really tasty. I've had the pork version on a number of occasions. I used to love it. Well, I did before I lost all my teeth, but anyway, that's beside the point of it. I still like it. And Pi now is doing some pork. Just cutting it into sort of thin strips. There you go, there's the pork. And once she's finished that, she'll then salt and pepper that as well, and then just put it in the sun to dry. It makes a really nice dish. I like it with just sticky rice, or even boiled rice, just really nice.
Make a dry pork and beef. You remember before, honey, I put a lemongrass and herb fry.
Yeah.
This one, when you dry and fry same chicken and make cook before. Put lemongrass and herb. Tastes good same.
Yeah. I don't know whether you heard Pi, because quite a bit of traffic going by, but she was saying that you can do the same thing as she made with the lemongrass and the chicken, sort of fry it with that as well. It's really, really tasty. So I'll sort of let you have another look a little bit later, and when that's all dried, and see what it turns out like. Well, Pi's beef has been in the sun for about 3 hours now, but it's not dried enough. So she's going to put it in the fridge, and it's going to go back out in the sun again tomorrow. Never mind, tomorrow. So we'll update you on that tomorrow and see how it turns out. Should be all right. Well, it's getting late in the evening here, and Fam's just come home from school after soccer practice, and we had a delivery today, so he's about to open his little gift. This is for Lee. Thank you so much, Lee. He's quite excited, and he just can't wait to tear into his little package. So here he goes. Oh, what's he got? Ah, now this is for Pi. Yeah. Now we got a message on here as well. It says, "I hope Pi will understand the humour of this book. Prison ramen recipes and stories from behind the bars." Outstanding, thank you, Lee. But she's already thumbing through the main cookbook.
Thank you, Lee, for the book. I'm gonna look at what they have inside.
So what have you got there, Fam? Oh, he's got some candy.
Peppermint.
Peppermint.
This one peppermint.
That one's peppermint.
What this one?
Curiously strong mints.
This one peppermint same.
Curiously cool mints.
What's strawberry?
Let's have a look. Yeah, this one's strawberry. They do smell good though, you can smell them from here. Lee, thank you very much. Two very happy people. That's really kind of you, thank you. Well, it's getting late now, and that's about all from us guys today. Whatever you do, have a fantastic day and stay safe. Please don't forget, subscribe, share and like. It does make a huge difference. And again, thank you, Lee. Have a great day, guys. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.